Well, good evening. And on behalf of Stephen Rosenfield, I'd like to welcome you to the American Comedy Institute's live virtual stand up comedy show. Tonight, you're going to see comics from all across the globe, some making their stand up debut as the culmination of our August virtual comedy workshop with ACI founder Stephen Rosenfield. We are very excited to show off all of their hard work. We do hold workshops every month. We do them in New York City. We hold live shows at Gotham, but tonight you're getting the virtual edition. So please do me a favor, take a second to go follow us at ACI Comedy on all the social media platforms. And while you're here on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Drop in the chat where you're from. We'd love to hear it. And in case this is your first time with us, we would like you to know that the American Comedy Institute has been an institution in New York City since 1989. Stephen is an award winning comedy writer, director, and the author of the best selling book, Mastering Stand Up. Alumni of the American Comedy Institute, well, they've gone on to perform on The Tonight Show, The Late Show, Conan, Saturday Night Live, and clubs all over the world. So you may just be getting a glimpse of our next ACI star. I'm your host tonight, Jay Yoder. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to just be so excited to hear where you're visiting from. So please pop in the chat where you're from. I'm personally excited because tonight is the first night of summer is over for me. Okay, I'm ready to get back in the classroom. I've been a public school teacher for 20 years. Yeah, hold your applause. I was like, because I have a firm belief that I think teachers, like the military, should get a 20 and out full pension. I don't know if you're with me on this, but I think there are some similarities. I have a Purple Heart. I saw my doctor. It's not good. I mean, I'm in the trenches of a middle school for 20 years. Do you remember what middle school smells like? I mean, these kids don't bathe. I mean, it's fragrance bombs everywhere. Some of these companies like Bath and Body Works should be brought up on war crimes. Okay. I'm walking through the hallway and I'm smelling stuff like candy apple Newports, citrus skunk. I've never been maced, but I've been axed. All right. I want retroactive hazard pay for every time I've done morning calf duty. Do you know what a 14-year-old is shoving in their face at 7:30 in the morning? That's right, Takis and Monster energy drinks. And if you don't know what a Taki is, it's like a Dorito rolled up like a joint. It's basically middle school crack. All right. I walk through a cloud of Taki dust. Have you ever been secondhand Takied? I had a Fuego contact high. And now I'm addicted. I'm doing rails of this stuff in between classes. I'm jonesing so bad right now. I'd cut a kid for a gram of blue heat. I mean, listen, and I think 20 and out is the perfect time for teachers to get out because generationally we're different people. I told them that last summer when I was in class, I used to work at Blockbuster. And they said, "What the heck is Blockbuster?" I felt like I was given a TED talk at like an ancient museum of lost media rituals. I was like, "Gather round, kids. Let me tell you about a time before the algorithm knew you were sad." Right? We were hunter gatherers. We weren't scrolling, we were foraging. And if somebody got the last copy of Mrs. Doubtfire, you waited like a peasant 4 days. One of these kids raised his hand. He's like, "Mr. Yoder, why didn't you just download it?" Oh, sweet summer child. It was 1996. The internet sounded like R2D2 was being waterboarded. And if you did download it, it took 3 days. You gave the family computer chlamydia. And the end result was some dude in a trench coat. He's like, "This ain't Space Jam." I mean, and if you forgot to return it or you didn't rewind it, they charged you $1 and cursed your family name. That's other kids like, "Mr. Yoder, what's rewind?" Oh, buddy, that's the only way in the 90s we knew how to be kind. But generationally, like I said, these kids broke me. I used to take kids in the summer to Europe. And this one year, I took a group of girls. We called them the shopping girls. They complained. I mean, these were the mean girls. You know these girls. They wear pink on Wednesday, ignorance every day. and they complained because we didn't do enough shopping. So I said, you know what? I'll give you free time if you can tell me one of the five chateaus we visited this week. And the Regina George of the group was like, well, there was the one where Leonardo DiCaprio was buried. Have you ever watched critical thinking die in real time? I was like, you meant Da Vinci? They're like the same person. No, no, they're not. Okay. Da Vinci was a master painter known for his creation of a 26-year-old woman named the Mona Lisa. And DiCaprio could never be caught with a woman that old. And listen, I don't want a folded flag. I don't want a discounted Applebee's. Maybe just someone to show up at my retirement and say, that guy went into that building every day, knowing full well that Timmy wasn't medicated. And listen, maybe I'll get there, maybe I'm not, but I'm ready for this school year. And I hope you're ready for a great show. We're going to get moving here with our first comedian. I couldn't be more excited to introduce. I mean, like I said, we're going to see people from all across the globe today. All right. And our first comedian is coming to us from Virginia. Please welcome Kyle Martinez.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle, and I just turned 40. I bought a motorcycle and I got a tattoo and just started doing stand up. So, if I get a DUI on my motorcycle on the way home, then I'll have successfully completed my midlife crisis bingo card. I'm living the dream if you count nightmares of dropping dead as the dream. I started taking antidepressants this year, and before they will prescribe them, they ask these questions. And I don't really know about these questions. My doctor asks if I feel like hurting myself or others. I say no, but my doctor knows me and knows that I work with teenagers, so the answer is obviously yes. And every time I call for a refill, I get asked the same questions. Have you felt like hurting yourself or others? Do you think about hurting yourself or others? And I'm starting to think that this isn't actually a question, but a suggestion. I think they're hinting that if I want a higher dose, I'm going to have to take somebody out. So my parents tell me that I don't give them credit for anything, but that's simply not true. I tell everyone that if it wasn't for my mom and dad, then I wouldn't be depressed. When I was 6 years old, my mom told me to wait until my dad got home, and it's been 34 years and he still hasn't shown up. So I've held some jobs that I think were inspirations to young people. I worked at a theme park once, and part of my job was picking up trash. And as this lady walked past with her son, she said, "Son, do you see that man over there working hard on this hot and humid day so we have this nice theme park to enjoy?" And she says, "I want you to remember that man and why you need to go to college." And I said, "Ma'am, I did go to college." And she apologizes to me and she says, "Son, when you're in school, I want you to remember that man and why you don't need to go to community college." I also used this job to impart wisdom to the guests about the theme park. There were a lot of bees around a trash can one time, and I was told to get rid of them. So I got some bee spray and some trash bags so I could kill these bees. And this guy walks up to me and says, "You're not killing those bees, are you?" And I said, "No, sir. I'm freezing them so our wildlife preservation team will be able to relocate them to a better environment." And he looks at me and says, "Wow, this place can really do that?" And I said, "Yes, sir. That's why it costs $160 to get in here." Also, at that job, I oversaw the guest experience department. So basically, the complaint department. And the complaint that really got me came from those who waited in line, but they were too large to ride a ride. And they wanted compensation, which I get. It's embarrassing and they wasted a lot of their time. But they always wanted a specific type of compensation, meal vouchers. And I think to myself, isn't that what got us into this in the first place? Is meal vouchers? When I was in college, I never made the dean's list, but I did make the angry flyers list. So here's a tip for you guys. If an officer in the airport asks you if there's a problem, don't answer not yet unless you want to be groped by TSA for the next 10 to 15 years of your life. I was in the airport in Grenada once, and the gate agent told me I needed another body search and that I should wait behind this curtain for a male agent. So I waited a long time, and finally the lady comes back putting gloves on, and she says, "Sir, do you mind if I search you?" And I said, "No, ma'am. Do I have to pay extra for that?" And so I'm still hoping to settle that lawsuit, hopefully sometime soon. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
And you're good, Karen, to go.
Sanjay?
You're on, ready to roll.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. My name's Karen, and I don't understand when being a Karen became a thing. What's wrong with having 25 customer service managers on speed dial? You know, I am a nice Karen. I'm a friendly Karen. I'm a funny Karen. And if you don't agree, I will fucking cut you. As a Karen, people expect me to be a bitch, but I'm really, really nice. Unless you are. And there's this woman. She has 18 items, 18 items in the 15 items or less checkout lane. Oh, she had a lot of nerve. She was counting 3 lemons as one item. And I'm the bitch. Sometimes I get tired of being a Karen. I would love, love, love one of those super cool gender neutral names like Billie Eilish or Stevie Nicks. So I've decided to change my name to Tyrone. So there's this medication for diabetes called Wegovy. In the commercial, all of these people are marching down the street like they're in a high school musical. Where are they going? I don't understand where they're going. I think they're going to straight to an attorney so they can sue Wicovy for all the devastating side effects. Even the bottle says if you experience nausea, diarrhea, shortness of breath, um, dizziness, depression, and suicidal thoughts, you should contact your physician immediately. With these side effects, with these side effects, I think you'd be better off contacting your priest. So, Clear Blue also has a new product. It's for women on their menopausal journey. What the hell is this journey? Because it ain't on my bucket list. Do women have a ceremony where they burn their maxi pads and put on their adult diapers? Do they have matching t-shirts with the slogan, I'm still hot, all the fucking time? Are there postcards? Having a great time on my menopausal journey with the hot flashes and the chills and the night sweats and the mood swings and urinary tract infections. Wish you were here. I'm to the age when my friends and I get nostalgic and we reminisce. We think about all the time when our body parts were intact. And someone will say, do you remember what life was like before we got our shoulder replacements and our hip replacements and our new knee replacements and our annual colonoscopies? And then someone else will say, well, no, no, I don't remember. And who are you? We have this dog. He is a Caton de Tulier, which is French for white fluffy dog that shits on the rug. I give him his dog food, and he looks at me like, you eat this fucking shit. Where the fuck does this dog learn that kind of language? So, as I get older, I'm also thinking about my legacy. I have decided I am going to will all of my worldly possessions to a dog shelter. And my dream is that they honor me with designer poop bags that say, Karen Lamb, full of shit. Thanks for coming on my comedy journey with me, everyone. Good night.
Give it up for Karen Lamb. We had a whole 2020 bout before that where you couldn't hear me. I told an amazing joke, so just remember you laughed really hard. Karen, I don't know where your dog got that potty mouth, but I had a note come home for my daughter. She's in first grade, and they said Alicia's been using the F word, but she's using it appropriately. I was like, I'm sorry, appropriately? Like, was this good news? Well, she was diagnosed nonverbal autistic. We didn't think she was ever going to speak. It's like, you're telling me she's using fuck appropriately in the first grade? Pretty sure that was an honor roll certificate, right? Where's my bumper sticker? My kid curses on a seventh grade level, okay? Now, before I bring up your next comedian, if you're watching this and you're thinking you'd also love to try your hand at stand up, then we would love to have you at our next workshop. Whether you're able to make it to New York City, we have a 5-day option, or whether you want to do our next virtual workshop in December, right? Whether you're a first timer or a seasoned vet, this workshop is customized for you. It can be held in New York City. It could be even completed in 5 days if you're an out of towner. Please check our website at AmericanComedyInstitute.com for more information. We'd love to have you join the ACI family. And now, without further ado, our next performer is an international performer. She lives in Germany, and she's here with us today. We're very happy to have her, the very funny Cecilia Müller-Stahl.
I think I may be a genius. Either that or I'm an idiot. Or I could be both. Or I could be neither. But enough about me. I'm on a spiritual journey. My spiritual journey is focused on drinking a lot of kale smoothies and having a lot of sex. You know, Tantra sex. I'm working with this amazing shaman who looks like Jesus, who has moved me like Jesus, and like the all-loving Jesus, fucked me like Jesus. With him, I experienced a life-changing orgasm. Okay, I faked it, but it was still nice. I had a feeling that, you know, my savior, my Jesus, Ralph, knew I faked it because he threw me out of the love cult. And I said to him, how can you throw me out? You told me I was Cleopatra. And he said, well, Your Majesty, you got to get your ass out of here. You got to go back to Cairo. Is there a Me Too movement for women who have been gaslighted by God? But I haven't given up on spiritual cults because the potential with them is so vast. And the only thing I have to give up is, a happy life, marriage, becoming a mother, and having a career. So I'm single. And I'm sick of these fucked up couples with their codependent, cozy on the couch lives who look down on me, a person who has never stopped her quest to solve her daddy issues by finding an old man to have sex with and to financially support me. And it's important that he financially supports me. I mean, after Jesus dumped me. So I'm dating this guy. And I told him about this documentary I watched about Adolf Hitler and his mistress, Eva Braun. And it was about how to measure her degree of responsibility for all the terrible things that he did. Now, to my understanding, my perspective of that situation, I believe women create the world through their magic box. So I said to him that I take full responsibility for whatever misdeeds he does because I've given him access to my magic box already. And he said, "Are you comparing us to Eva Braun and Adolf Hitler? Are you an idiot?" See, that's why I mentioned in the beginning, that maybe I am. My grandfather recently died, and I was surprised how upset I was at his funeral. And it got me thinking, and the daddy issue thing, I may also have granddaddy issues. And when I thought about it, it really cheered me up because now I know I'm looking for a man from their late 50s to their early 90s. Now I know I'm looking for a grilf, a grandfather I'd like to fuck. Good night.
Give it up for Cecilia Mueller-Stahl, dumped by Jesus. I actually just drove by a sign the other night and it said, "You were the reason Jesus came." And I just thought to myself, I always considered myself like a New York City 6.5, but turns out I'm a Bethlehem 10, and I'm okay with that. All right, our next comedian, we're back to international. I'm excited. All the way from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Give it up for JP.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thanks for being here. So I do voiceovers for commercials. And sometimes I think these commercials imply things too much. I mean, like McDonald's. Why? We all know it's cheap junk food. Why don't they just say something like, "This week at McDonald's, the Happy Meals are half price. McDonald's, because your kids don't deserve any better. McDonald's." And truck commercials, man. We all know clearly these are for guys that need reassurance in their masculinity. So why not just make the ad that? So picture the Ford F-150, a pickup truck, like driving up a sand dune, and then you hear, "Are you a man? Do you always piss standing up in the shower? When you work out, do you sweat motor oil?" Ford F-150. Yeah, but I respect the power of commercials, man. Like, you got ads. I mean, you can sell anything. Take something obscure like, I don't know, maracas. Have you ever wanted to pick up a musical instrument but thought it's too heavy? Try maracas. Here at Johnson Maracas, we make the lightest maracas, so they're easy to pick up. Johnson Maracas. Let us shake you, Johnson. And these drug commercials, man. I mean, they make a pill for everything now. I'm just hoping they make a pill that makes us like numb to all the shit going on? Like, are you overwhelmed by everything going on in the world? Wars, famine, climate change, your mother's Facebook posts. Then ask your doctor about Blasé, the only prescription that helps you not give a shit. Side effects of Blasé may include constipation, answering every question with, meh. Do not take Blasé if you're allergic to Blasé or watch Fox News or MSNBC. Blasé, because the world's on fire, but you don't have to care. Blasé. Anyway, a few years ago, I sold a car to a friend of mine. I knew it had some problems, but he needed a car, and it was used, and so I sold it to him. And he never said anything, but exactly a month after I sold it to him, he sends me a text message of a photo of some dude sticking a screwdriver up his ass. Now, I'm thinking, what exactly is he saying to me here? I mean, is like it was just a carburetor issue. So I said to him, I said that, hey, look, I should have told you about the carburetor. I'm sorry I didn't. You know what? Have it fixed. I'll pay for it. And he thanked me. A month later, I get another text of another dude, this time sticking what I think was a pipe wrench up his behind. So I asked my buddy Ned, I say, I got the picture. Is everything okay with us? He says, yeah, no, everything's good. Yeah. A month, next month, then again, same thing. This time a pencil. Now, I kind of got the screwdriver and the pipe wrench, but the pencil? So now I'm thinking maybe he's just trying to screw with my brain here. So I said, Ned, is that it? Are you trying to screw with me? He said, no, man, no. I'm just coming on to you. Thank you very much, everybody. You've been great.
I'll give it up one more time for JP all the way from Canada. I was just on SwiftMD seeing if I could get a script for Blasé because I could definitely use that with all of my mom's text messages. So if that can help with that too, I don't care about any of the side effects. All right, we have two amazing acts left. This next act comes to us from Midway, Utah. I've never been there, but it looks beautiful. Give it up for the very funny Nathan Olson.
Geez, sorry guys. I'm at the park. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, my name's Nate. It's kind of the first time I've ever done something like this, but I know I kind of don't really look. I look young for my age. I'm actually 40.
Well, you actually put your camera off, so we can't even tell how old you are.
Oh, for real? Shoot.
Yeah. There you go. There's that face.
I guess
One
I
more
can't.
time for Nate Olson.
Okay, I'm just gonna wing it. I don't have my I won't be able to get my notes, but that's fine. We'll just go with it. Yeah, I know I look young for my age. I'm actually 40. I have 3 kids. Yeah, apparently you have to hit puberty, go fully hit puberty in order to have procreate, which is kind of wild. Yeah, looking. It would be helpful. Like I didn't choose this face. It would be helpful if I could grow like a beard or something, but I can't. I think I might have some disease like Gary Coleman, or it could be because I'm Mormon and my parents are third cousins. Probably has a little something to do with this. But it kind of had some advantages growing up, looking young. People were all, I remember like reading a book, Huckleberry Finn. They're like, wow, that kid, how old is he? 6, reading Mark Twain? And I was 14. First time I went on a plane, the captain asked me, hey, son, you want to come see the cockpit? It's like I was 27. But in case you're jealous, it wasn't that cool. It's a lot of buttons and little windows. Yeah, when I was in 6th grade, I remember I had a crush on a girl, and she tried to pawn me off on her little sister, which kind of offensive, but I rolled with it because when I saw her, I thought, okay, this could work out. I'm willing to invest the time. Probably would have worked out if she wasn't in half-day kindergarten. When I got to college, it was a little bit different. You know, I show my athleticism by bowling, which is kind of a treat. But I realized that it doesn't really work so well. Girls kind of lost interest when I told them that I wear a size 6 shoe. I don't know if it was the size or the Velcro or what, but kind of didn't. I still wonder what it'd be like to bowl with laces. Velcro sort of gives that away. But oh, the first time when I was in college, it kind of, well, when I met my future ex-father-in-law, he's like this 6'2" guy, works for a big company that everybody's heard of and nobody likes. But anyway, we go on this walk, and my girlfriend at the time would say, "Oh, he's gonna love you. He's gonna love you." Like the whole time I went on walking, he told me about how he doesn't know a single CEO that's shorter than 6 feet, and that short guys are like the most untrustworthy scammers. Like there's all these tests and studies about how you shouldn't trust short people. And I was like, yeah, I don't think he likes me too much. It was a nice little pep talk, but I kind of understand when I got this job in Alaska, my buddy convinced me to do it, driving buses. And it was, I think people were a little terrified when they realized that I was the one driving the bus and not the kid that just like moved the step stool. One time I was driving, I was kind of like, why is everybody so nervous? And this guy was like, dude, I think it's because you have to stand up every time you push down the brake. Yeah, I didn't. It was kind of a rough time. The only tips I got were from gay guys. Apparently I'm a twink. I don't totally know what that means, but I'll take it. Yeah, I honestly don't even remember. Okay. Anyway, and then yeah, I don't have my notes, so I'm trying to think what else. But like having a baby face is not that bad. Sometimes nobody's come up to me at the grocery store and said, "Hey kid, are you looking for your mom?" or at the skate park. Anyway, the one good thing is when I go play with my kids, I can be at McDonald's Playhouse and nobody cares. Anyway, thanks for your patience, guys. I was a mess today, but thank you.
Give it up for Nate Olson. Listen, if I lived there, I would be outside there all the time. That is the most beautiful background I've ever seen. So thank you for sharing that with us. And you do have a baby face, but you know what? Me as a teacher, that's why I need to have the credibility. I need to have a beard.
Yeah, I hear you.
Thankfully, I grew one as young as 12, so it was good for me. All right, well, our final act. The only thing that this show needs to cap it off is a pastor. And so you're going to meet from Rochester, New York, the very funny Pastor Matt.
Well, my great grandfather used to say there's two kinds of people who love dogs and people going to hell. Now, I think it was pretty harsh of him to phrase it like that, but I understand his sentiment. See, just petting a dog releases oxytocin and dopamine. These are feel-good chemicals. So every time you're petting a dog, these are wonderful things happening in your mind. So saying you don't like a dog, that's like saying, I'm not such a big fan of Happy. I don't like Joey that much. So I think it should be permissible evidence in court to tell you the truth. I have 3 dogs. Well, it could be more because my wife likes to rescue them and I like having them and the night's still young. So, but I'm going to go with it that we have 3. And those dogs, they get so excited every time I get home. I could just walk out, check the mail, come right back in, and those dogs are out of their mind excited. And I have a theory about that. They're proud of me. They're not confident in my ability to survive when I go outside. I think I come in and they're thinking, how did you do it? How'd you do it with those little teeth? And you don't run that fast compared to us. And your sense of smell isn't that great. How'd you do it? How'd you do it? And they're just so happy for me and they're proud of me. And you know what? There is some merit in that because I get lost a lot. And I don't mean just like occasionally I take a wrong turn. I'm directionally impaired. One time I was lost in the Adirondack Mountains with my kids. We were all staying at a cabin and it was a family vacation. And I woke up one morning and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the kids out for a hike while my wife is staying back at the cabin with the dogs. So we're going down this nature trail and a lot of foliage and it's just a whole download of nature coming in, birds chirping and everything. We get to the end of the trail and it opens up into a clearing, and it's a beautiful view of the mountain on this flat plateau. Then I do what every modern parent does. I line up the kids to take a Facebook picture. Now, at that moment, that's when I was checking for my phone and I had a level yellow. It wasn't a major crisis at the moment, but I realized I left my phone back. So it was just a little uncomfortable. I didn't want to be out there in the woods without my phone. So we enjoy the view for a moment, and then I turn around to head back, and here I notice now it goes to level red. I turn around and I notice that there's 5 other trails that opened up right to that flat part. 5 trails, and it's all pine trees and rocks. I can't tell which one is my trail. So now let me paint the picture for you a little bit. I'm a pastor, a cartoonist, and a comedian. That means I have dedicated my life to things most people consider as non-essential during emergency. Now, here I am in a little bit of a crisis, and I'm not a pioneer guy. I'm also not a back my car up into a parking lot guy. So I don't really know what to do. So I'm contemplating what different options I have. So I'm thinking, you know what? If it gets a little bit later, I'm going to sit the kids down, draw some pictures in the dirt, and say, kids, let's get ready to meet Jesus. And that's going to be my plan for them. But then I start hearing my name, Matt. It's my wife. My wife, Jolene, is calling me and she's yelling. And I said, we're lost. We're lost. I don't know what trail to take. So she's calling me. She's yelling. And she said, follow my voice. Now, there's very few things that'll make you feel less like a pioneer man than following your wife's voice out of the woods. But it worked. I followed her voice all the way back. And then I see that she's standing on the porch of the cabin, meaning I really wasn't that far away as I thought I was, but it still was a crisis in our world. But back to the dogs, I walk in. The dogs are so excited to see me, but I don't let them lick me. I don't let them lick me because they eat out of the cat box. Not exclusively. They do have dog dishes, but there's something about that cat box they just think is yummy. And I have a theory. I think that's why they chase the cat. They see it like a food truck. My name is Matt, and I hope you have a blessed night.
Give it up one more time for Pastor Matt from Rochester, New York. Well, guys, that's our show. We want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please go follow us on all the social media channels at ACI Comedy. And you can get more info on any of our workshops at the American Comedy Institute at americancomedyinstitute.com. Hope to see you soon. Have a great night.